Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to Online Study for You, a complete placement solution. So, guys, today I'm here to discuss some of the interview question from one of our students. She have appeared for the interview for the TCS on the last Friday, like last week of Friday. So she is from a non-IT department. So most of the interviews, that I have presented was from IT department. So this will help you to give a perfect picture of how a non-IT department interview is happening in TCS like IT-based company. Okay, so one thing that you have to keep in mind is actually two things. That is, you are preparing for an IT company. So you must have some basic knowledge in IT. Okay, like programming, whatever, some basic theoretical knowledge, at least you should have. Okay, and the second thing is, you might have came across the online assessment. After passing that only you got an opportunity to appear for the interview. So in online assessment too, you will be having that programming sessions, either pseudo coding, whatever. Okay, so you have to accept the thing that you are appearing for an IT company, so you have to know about all these things. Okay, so since you have prepared about for the online assessment and you cracked that, so you will have to brush up the same knowledge which is having there. Okay, so this is all about, I would like to remind you, if you're from IT, non-IT, whatever department, so especially coming to non-IT department, please keep in this mind. Okay, the IT is very important. IT knowledge is very important when coming into an IT company. If you're looking forward for other companies, then it's maybe fine. But coming to IT company, it's very important. Okay, so now let's move on to the questions that have been there for her. So guys, these are the technical questions. So she was from an electronics and communication department, so this questions was related to that as well. So yeah, so let's discuss that as well. So before discussing that, I would like to remind you something that is opportunity from us. Okay, that is, there is a live coding crash course for the TCS Ninja toppers that is about to happen from 3rd of this October, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at your convenience. If you're graduating, your classes don't ever clash with this. And this is held by the software developer engineer at Flipkart by Upasana Ma'am. So where it's a live coding class, but after the classes, all the recordings will be available for you. And if you want to have the Q&A session, like doubts clearing session, whatever, this will help a lot. Okay, so this was highly on demand, that we had so much TCS coding classes, like pre-recorded classes. So most of you people have requested to go for the live coding classes to clear all your doubts and to improve your learning. So this is a golden opportunity for you. You will get a perfect idea from, those software developer at Flipkart means it will be very sound at coding. So make use of these kind of opportunity as well, and you can access this either through your phone or your PC, laptop, whatever. Okay, you can get it, and this whole course is for 249 rupees, and it's a 10-hour coding workshop. Okay, so now it's available at an offer price since the demand have increased considerably. So it's 750, it was 750, and now it's available for 249. So to go for that, you can just go with the link that I've mentioned in the description and purchase it now itself and start learning now. Don't miss any kind of opportunity, because once you couldn't get through this ninja section, then you won't be able to appear for the same next time. Okay, so make use of it at the earliest and crack your best. Okay, now coming back to our, yeah, this is it, our interview questions. So let's start with the technical questions. So as I mentioned, she is from electronics and communication department. So these were the questions that she have went through. So what is semiconductor and diode? It's very basic question that ever you can get if you are belonging to electronics, electrical, whatever. So I have a very one line description of the same, but I would recommend you to, just to give an idea of how to answer, but I would recommend you to go read. Okay, read further. What is a semiconductor? What is a diode? You can read further. This is just to brush up your knowledge. Okay, this one line sentence, just go through that and read them, and just keep in a perfect idea. So if they ask in ulta way to, you will get to answer. Okay, so what is semiconductor and diode? So here, semiconductors are materials that Yeah, have a conductivity between conductors, generally metals and non-conductors or insulators. A diode is a semiconductor device that essentially acts as one-way switch for a current. So this is a normal, static kind of answer. You don't need to give the same sentence, same words. You can make it up on yourself. I just gave a sample answer. So what I meant is you can just go for like one-line sentence or two-line sentence or relating to something. You can, if you wish to give an example, and if you're very confident in that, you can give the example. I would recommend you to give the real world examples for any of the answers you give. So the interviewer will get the panelist will get an idea like, okay, you know something, you know the concept. Okay, you haven't just given the definition, you know the concept. From that, you are giving the answer. Okay, so create that impression as much as possible. Even not for the interview process, if you're going for some kind of seminar presentation, project, whatever it is, give a good impression that you know the concept. Don't frame a perfect sentence from the book or from the materials or from the Google. Don't give that perfect sentence. Just make it and read an article or read a paragraph and know the things, and after that deliver it your own pace and deliver it your own sentences. Okay, that's it. Now, different types of communication. So either you can get a question like, what is communication? I've heard this question to most of the non-IT department as well. Either that or different types of communication. So analog and digital is kind of different. And next is, what is multiplexing? So multiplexing is a kind, like, it is very important when it comes to IT sector and as well as non-IT sector for electronics, electrical, those kind of branches. Okay, so multiplexing is multiple signals combined into one. So this is not a kind of perfect, I just made it by myself. That is a simple thing to give you an idea. You try to build that answer. Okay, multiple signals can be combined to that. And if you know one of the combining method, you can just tell like multiple signals will be combined through this method or through that method. Okay, so if you have something, just give it. If you're very confident, just give it. Okay, because sometimes the interviewer will ask, okay, you mentioned about that process, what is that process? They may ask you. Okay, so it is important to know, if they ask one question, what is the probable questions that can come up with related to that, you must know that. Okay, that will give you a perfect confidence. So as I mentioned here, if you mention that process, then the interviewer will ask that, what is that process? So you want to avoid that question. For that, just giving a simple, like this 2-3 word sentence to give that answer won't be good enough. Okay, so try to give that and know about that process, so you'll get to answer, right? Okay, so that's it. So try to give the real-time example or something like that. Okay, give throw out examples. That will help you, because if you are making up to the example, combining it with the definition, then obviously it's like you know the concept and you're explaining with that. Okay, now, what is a transducer? A transducer is any device that converts one form of energy into a readable signal. So this is a standard sentence. Obviously, you can go for like this itself. So these kind of questions is what you have received. So it is a non-IT department. So most of, as I have heard from my little experience by interacting with the students or graduates, what I got to know is, when it comes to non-IT sector, I mean, the duration used to be like standard, like 15 minutes, between 20 minutes. It's not that long that happens with the computer science department, but it is, I mean, the other cases also there. It's the major criteria, but minority with the long schedules is also there. Okay. Okay, that's it. Now, yes, this is a technical question. And next, relating to some of the computer science related questions. Okay, now this question you can really expect. Okay, this simple question you can really expect, because I have heard this question from multiple students who have appeared for the interview. That is, what was your coding question in online assessment? So once you'll be facing the online assessment, and after that only you will be coming to this right, you will be coming to the interview process. So you must have cracked that, what was the question. So keep in mind what is the question and how you have employed it. So this student have not faced a question like, what was the data structure used there, what is the kind of things, and what is the logic you employed in that question. But I have heard in the last year, one of the student have received the question like that. Okay, what was the kind of like data structures you have used, and what is the programming? So just prepared with that answer as well. Okay, so she haven't faced that issue, but the interviewer can ask that question as well. Now, What is an object-oriented programming? So it's a standard thing, both data and code to modify data together, both data and code to modify the data are kept together. I just made it too very simple to make you understand, to keep the things in your head, but you have to explain in a polite way. Okay, so it is like data and code combined together. It is combined together as an object or as a function, as a unit. Okay, that will be better. Data and code to modify that data is combined together as a unit. Okay, so that's it. Now, what is data structures? Okay, this is very important because data structures is the basic component of programming, which to build the remaining programming concepts. Okay, so what is data structures? Way of organizing data in a computer, that is like array, graphs, linked list, etc. That is computer programming language, it seems. So yes, that's it about the data structures. So array, graph, linked list, if you could mention something like that, then it will be better. Okay, that's it. Now name some data types in C. So they have mentioned like name some. Okay, so you just have to give only which is relevant to you. But in case if they mention like name the data types in C, you have to go for all the kind of data types. But if you just missed out one of you, then it's okay. But since mentioned some data types, give the data types that you are very confident in. So char, int, float, double, these 4 kind of data types is almost known to most of you, and you will get to explain it with one sentence. So that's why I mentioned that. So they have mentioned some, so go for some. Okay, literally some. If you are confident enough to go for everything, then you can definitely go. But don't ever try to give some partial answers. Okay, not only in this case of this question alone, but whatever question, don't ever try to give partial answers. Give complete answer, and if you don't know that, just broke it up. Okay, that's it. Now coming to HR question. So her interview, the technical round was pretty composed and pretty few. So this is coming to the HR question. So why TCS? Okay, if it is irrespective of any of the category, like if you belong to IT sector, non-IT sector, whatever, you can expect this question, that is why TCS. Okay, so you can just tell, I'm repeating the same answer which I made in the previous 2 videos. If you haven't watched my previous 2 videos regarding the interview experience previously happened, just go and watch the video. I have shared so much tips and tricks to answer in the interview. Go for that as well. And why TCS? That's a very relevant question actually. So you can go like the learning platforms and repeating the same. More defined answers is there in my previous video. Go and watch that as well. So it's like being a fresher, I have a better career opportunities here to explore the technologies or to explore the things. Or you can just tell like being a graduate, being a fresher, I have the knowledge about the different opportunities available in this IT sector is not to me. Okay, I don't know the different kind of opportunities available. So I would like to explore and find my field of interest and develop with that with the help of TCS platform. Okay, something like that you have to give. Every time what you have to concentrate is the word TCS. Okay, you are appearing for that, so concentrate upon this. Okay, why IT company being an electronics engineer? So this is a relevant question. You can expect this question if you are electronics department, mechanical department, automobile, mechanical, whatever. Okay, if you belong to that, any of the non-IT sector, you can expect this question. And I think you will have some answers for that. You can just say, I'm very curious during the graduation, I got to know about some of the computer science related things, or you can just mention it out, this programming language and that programming language, or you have went to that and some workshops or seminars, and I've got immensely motivated to look opportunities in the IT sector. I have been very fond of technology, like that. Okay, frame it yourself according to the branch that you are having. Frame it yourself, because they can ask you like, if you have that much interest, then why do you choose a non-IT department? So that also can come across a question. Okay, so frame your answer accordingly. Now, electronics related project will be difficult to do, being the team members in different places. How did you manage? Okay, so if it is software related project like screen sharing or using any this kind of things, connecting everyone together, you can work in one system with 4 or 5 people. Yeah, you can just connect it together and do it. Most probably it's difficult, but it's more convenient when it comes to other department. Okay, but in coming to electronics department, you will be having some hardware components, and from coming to mechanical department too, you will be having some objects to do the project. So in that cases, the students will be from different places and different parts. In this online world, how do you cope up with that? That question you can expect if you belong to any of the branch. If you belong to IT sector, okay, you can expect like, okay, your project, some of the IT projects do have some hardware product, hardware products. Or if you don't have hardware, it's purely software too, you can expect that question, because it's difficult to cope up people from different places, having different network connectivity, having different chores to do. So have the answer for that question as well. You can just tell it was a teamwork, or we had have scheduled everything well, we used to meet, or this like that, something like that. Okay, be put in a positive way always. Now, how did you manage? Okay, done with that. And are you ready to relocate? So if you're ready to relocate, and if you aren't ready to relocate, whatever, and if you do have some problem in going to other places, then if you're looking for a job, your answer should be yes always. Okay, and if you wish to get placed in Bangalore TCS, but I don't want other location, but I want Bangalore only, you can't demand like that. Okay, just give it yes, there is no other option to get the job done. So this was a complete question that she have came across when she was during her interview. Okay, so all these questions looks very similar, like if you belong, HR questions kind of very similar if you belong to IT and non-IT sector. So for referring the HR questions, you can even go with a previous video where the computer science students also have faced. So there is much more questions, varieties of questions available. Similar questions are also there, but there is other kind of questions too. So in total, what you have to do is, if you belong to IT sector or non-IT sector, coming to non-IT sector, if you're a non-computer science student, you have to know what is you're doing. If you belong to electronics engineering, the basic fundamentals of electronics, you can get like 3-4 questions on the same. Okay, and you are getting into IT sector, so obviously you will get some questions from the IT. So that will be very basic, because you have went through the online assessment. So with that, you will get to answer this kind of questions. So very basic question on the computer science related things. Okay, so these two things can come if you are from electronics department, and if you're from electrical department, electrical related fundamentals. If you are from mechanical, then mechanical related fundamentals and whatever. Okay, so minimal questions from that, programming, not programming, computer science related basic questions, and after that HR question, which is just to assess your polite, or being you polite, and your communication skill, whatever. So here, once more, I'm reminding, your communication is not being evaluated just by this HR round. From the moment that you get in, okay, getting to the link for the virtual interview, till you say thank you sir or bye sir, till then your communication and way, your body language, of course you have to on your camera. So if the panelists haven't on the camera too, you have to on it yourself. Throughout the interview, your behavioral pattern, your behavior, how your body language to work, your eye contact, then the small smile. It's not like you have to always keep on laughing, but the small smile that you have to keep in, the pleasantness of your face. Okay, and you should not show your nervousness. You must be confident enough, and you must be polite enough. All these things will be evaluated from the very on time you get it till you leave. Okay, so one more thing here is, you can, after all these things, they'll ask you any questions. So any question section is also very important, guys. So you have to ask minimum of 2 questions. You can ask any of the question, like what all the technologies that I'll get exposed to once I join there, or what are the prerequisites that I have to take care of before joining the organization. Or you can just tell like what was the major challenge that you have facing, that your company is facing now, going through one virtual world, work from home. So something like that. Prepare 2 questions minimum. So this will help you a lot. Okay. So this is about the complete interview process. So guys, if you're a fresher, if you will be fresher, obviously. So freshers interview is all about checking the basic knowledge and the communication way. I'm repeating again, communication doesn't mean that you have to be very good, fluent in English. What you say must be good enough for the opposite person to understand. That's it. You can make mistakes, but it's completely okay. Okay, they want you to get the work done, and if they ask you something, you must be able to answer to them in the way that they can understand. So that's what they want you to know about the communication. So everyone who are preparing for the interview, all the best. If you're prepared in all these aspects, then it's completely done. Your 50 to 60% of interview preparation is done. All that you need is to have the confidence and just, leave your nervousness and go up, and you will crack it. Okay. So that's all, guys. That's all about the things that I had to share today. So if we have any more interview questions from our student, I'll surely come up again to help you guys. So stay tuned to online study for you. Everybody stay safe and stay happy. If you have any queries, please let's see in the comment section. Okay. So that's all, guys. See you. Bye.